You good?
Mm-hmm.
Not yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, this is pretty much, I'm just going to delete this because I wanted to go over what is a linear inequality. Unequal kind of says it in the words. It's not equal. Okay, so if it's not equal, then it has to be either less than, greater than, less than or equal to, or greater than or equal to. So those are your four options, right? When it's not equal, it can be the less than, greater than, less than or equal to, and greater than or equal to. So pretty much what I'm going to do is, if you have something like this, right, you're going to solve it as you would a regular equation. You still have to leave the x by itself. So you're going to move the 3 over. So I'm going to do minus 3. And then I'm going to do 3 minus 3, which is 0. So that cancels, right? And then I'm going to do 22 minus 3, which is, what is it, 19, 20, 21, 22. Yeah, 19. So from here, you're going to bring down this one. You're going to have 2x greater than 19. From here, you would normally, if this would have been an equals, what would you have done? This would have
What do you
been
mean?
just equals. What would you have done to leave the x by itself? You don't remember? It's multiplying by 2, so the opposite would be to do what?
Divide.
Divide by 2, divide by 2. 2 divided by 2 is 1. 1x is just x. X is greater than 19 over 2, and that's it, right? Now, when you solve this, you're going to do a number line. You're going to do 19 over 2. And this is what we went over on Monday, but since a lot of you were not logged in. So I did I'm going to do them over here. So this is going to be dotted line because it doesn't have, it's not including this number. When you don't have a little line underneath, you're not including 19 over 2. If you do have a little line, that means you are including 19 over 2. So if it has that little line, you're going to do a closed circle. Okay? You're going to shade in the direction of the arrow. So this one is pointing this way. So therefore, you're going to shade to the right. Okay? Are you good so far?
Yes.
Se perdieron. Guys, I need you to talk. Okay, so that's that, right? Now, if you have something like this, something like that, what is going to happen is you're going to move the 5 over as a plus 5. Same thing, right? Regular, same thing. You're going to move the number over. You're going to add these. You have negative 2x greater than 25. Now, you're going to divide by the number in front of the x, which in this case is negative 2. Okay? So then I'm going to divide by negative 2. I'm going to divide by negative 2. Now, whenever you divide by a negative, this is the only difference from, from the inequalities. If you divide by a negative, you're going to flip the inequality. If you divide by a negative, or actually, it's both, divide or multiply. By a negative, you're going to flip the inequality. So it's not going to be greater than anymore. It's going to be less than. Okay?
Okay.
Yes?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that. This is just x less than negative 25 over 2, and that will be your answer. Okay? You good so far?
So
Yes.
the 25 turns negative after you flip it?
No, since you're dividing by a negative, that's why it turns negative.
Ah.
If this would have been positive, then now if this negative would have been if this 25 would have been negative, then it should have been positive 25 over 2 here. But the reason that it's negative is because you're dividing by a negative, not because you're flipping it.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes. All right. So this is what we did Monday. Just a little refresher of what we did Monday. This is the new stuff. I'm going to give you the new stuff today so that you are able to. Now, you remember y equals mx plus b, right? You should remember this. Right? No?
Yes.
So this is your slope. This is your y-intercept. Right? This is x and this is y. Now, same thing is going to happen now when you have inequalities. This is going to be either greater than or less than, or greater than or equal to, or less than or equal to. It just depends on your function. Now, right now, I gave you that this one's going to be up, this one's going to be down, this one's going to be up, and this one's going to be down. This one's solid. No, sorry. This one's dotted. This one's solid. This one's solid. My bad. I keep making mistakes. And that one's solid. What do you notice?
The ones that don't have the line have the little dots.
And which ones are up? The ones that are up, I don't know if you noticed, are the ones that are greater.
Oh, okay.
This one is less. And this one is less. The ones that are less, you're the shade at the bottom of the line. Okay? What do I mean by bottom and top? If you have a line like this, where would be the bottom? It's right here, right? Yes?
Yeah.
If you have a line like this, where would be the bottom? It was right here. These are bottoms. These are downs. Okay? If you have a line like that, then this is a top. And this is a top. Make sure that you know what I mean by top and bottom. Okay? Now, we're going to use the same skills that we were using to solve for y from the other equations. Remember that we're moving the number dividing by y, moving the number dividing by the y, moving the x dividing by the y. Do you remember that? Oh, I don't know if I should have erased, but ya lo borré. I'm going to upload the video anyways. So if you have something like this, 2x plus 3y less than or equal to 12. What would you do? How do you leave the y by itself here?
By moving the 3.
I'm going to move the 3, but not yet. I need to move this first, right? So I move the x, divide by the y.
Okay.
Move x, divide by y. So I'm going to move 2x. And when I move it, I have to put negative. And this is what we've been doing for a while, right? Negative 2x plus 12 divided by the y. You divide by the 3. Divide by the 3. Divide by the 3. You're only going to flip if you divide by a negative. So what I'm going to do is I like to circle them just so that I can remember. So this is actually positive. So I'm not going to worry about flipping anything. So then y is less than or equal to negative 2 over 3 x plus 12 over 3 is actually 4. So this is actually a negative line. Negative line. And it's solid because it has the line. And it passes at 4. This is your y-intercept. I'm just going to put. And you're going to shade in the bottom of the line. What does that mean? That all of these numbers are going to be included in my answer. Okay? Now, what I want you to do with the decimals, I want you to graph it like this because I want you to actually work it out. And your decimals is actually going to and less than or equal to is right here. Negative 2 divided by 3 x plus 4. Okay, you notice that it passes at 4. That is your y-intercept. Your slope is negative, so that's why the line's going down. And it's actually negative 2, positive 3. I don't know if you noticed, but the little dots, if you zoom in, you can actually do, I'm going to zoom out a little bit more. Negative 2, positive 3. Negative 2, positive 3, and so on and so forth, right? So that you are able to graph something like that. Now, since we're not going to do star tests now, I just need you to know how to graph it. Okay?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to do a couple more, and I'll let you go so that you can finish your assignment on the computer. Make sure that you're doing your assignments, guys. A lot of you are not. If you have contact with your friends, make sure that you tell them that they need to be logging in and stuff. And tell them that I'm doing daily grades for attendance. So if you don't log in, you don't get a grade for that day. Okay, so I'm going to move the x. Divide by y. Move the x, divide by y. All right. What do you think I should do, Fatima?
So -4.
Not yet, right? What is the
-4.
first step?
Yeah, first you have to check for the x.
Okay, so how do I move the x?
By putting a positive 2x.
Okay. Now, these, you're not going to combine them. All you're going to do is you're going to put them side by side. That's it. So then this is 4y greater than or equal to. We still haven't divided. We haven't done anything. Leave it as is. 2x plus 24. And then you are dividing by 4 here. Dividing by 4. Dividing by 4. 4 divided by 4 is 1, right? 1y is just y. Greater than or equal to 2 divided by 4, that's 1/2 x. Make sure that you know how to divide these. Plus 6. 24 divided by 4 is 6. Going to graph this, just a little sketch. Positive line goes up, right? That's my line. And it's solid because it has a little line in the bottom. Yes, you're good? And then I'm going to shade. This is a greater than symbol. So therefore, where am I going to shade? On the top of the line. So this is top and this is bottom. I'm not going to shade here. I'm going to shade here. And that's it. I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording, but I'm going to give you more examples.